Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm trying to be a little quiet right now because it's early and I was one of the first people up here at our historical bed and breakfast where we're staying. We are in Shelbyville, and if you've been following along with me, you know I've been on a cross-country road trip. I think this is day 15 or 16. It's all beginning to blur together. So, if you've been following along, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Tamara, and this is Reimagine 50 Plus, where I try to get out there and do things that are fun, interesting, different from what we've been doing. And certainly as we get older and maybe we're retired, we have the ability to go at times when the kids are back in school, and that's what we are doing. We took advantage of the September back to school cooling off period, and we hit the road. So we are in Shelbyville, Tennessee. The Belmont Inn, which is also known as the 1852 Evans House, is available for wedding or an event or just an overnight stay. We were lucky enough to find something available since we did not have reservations in advance, but they were very accommodating. What you need to remember if you do choose to stay here is that it is very much a work in progress. It is a very old home, and the owners are continuously working on this home. Even as we were staying there, there was work being done. So just keep that in mind. It is not going to be your 4-star hotel. It's something that you have to realize while you're there. This place is old and it's charming, and a lot of antiques and things to look at, clearly, but it's a little different. And because there wasn't a lot to pick from, we thought, hey, let's try it, and we were not disappointed. This was on my son's bucket list. Well, his bucket list for the trip. And because we were really intrigued by the whole thing, who would think that there is a whiskey distillery in the middle of a dry county? That's right, Lynchburg is a dry county. So this ought to be really interesting. Lynchburg, Tennessee, home of Jack Daniels, where every drop is made. It's quite a walk from where you park your car into where the actual distillery and tour prep is at. So just keep that in mind. And you need to have good walking shoes for this whole thing anyway. Jack Daniels is open from 9 to 4:30, and they have 3 different tours that you can pick from. There's a tasting tour, there is a barrel house tour, and then they have what they call a dry tour, and they vary in price. So do your research and decide what you want to do. We did the dry tour. There is plenty of memorabilia and interesting things to look at while you wait for your tour to begin. Because there is no real gift shop located here on the premises, they recommend that after the tour, you take a short walk into town, literally 3 blocks, and check out a charming gift shop in town, where you also can get some great souvenirs and homemade jellies too. That's what I got.
We give, quote, educational tours. We actually have a special permit that allows us to give tastings with those educational tours. The second is the White Rabbit Bottle Shop. It's located in the Visitor Center. You can go into the bottle shop and you can purchase a souvenir bottle of Jack Daniels. You may not know it, but the whiskey inside that bottle is absolutely free. You're paying for a souvenir bottle. So that's actually why we're called a bottle shop and not a liquor store, because it's against the law to sell whiskey around here, bro. We sell those bottles. Now, while you are here, I do want to encourage you to visit the hardware and general store. It's located in Town Square.
Lots of walking and stairs, so make sure that you are able to do this before you sign up for the tour. Make sure you have really good walking shoes.
we would be Jack Daniel's bourbon. That's what you'd see on our label. But because we add this in addition to all those other steps that it takes to be a bourbon, we actually earn the right by law to call ourselves a Tennessee whiskey. We actually burn 4 wicks at a time. So you'll see it right here. Now, to start those fires, we use 140 proof moonshine that comes straight from one of our stills. That is the only accelerant we use because we don't want any foreign taste or smell affecting our whiskey in any way.
Drawing nearly 800 gallons of water from below the Earth's surface every minute, this is the lifeline Jack Daniel's.
Performing with a bottle of Jack Daniel's on stage with him, his tremendous influence when sales skyrocket. They actually hired Nearest to be his head distiller. When he comes here to the Cave Spring, he asks Nearest to come with him. Nearest to climb. Instead, Jack brings 2 of Nearest's sons. He brings Eli and his best friend George. So in the 150 plus years since Jack and Nearest started making whiskey together, there's always been a member of the Green family and Jack's family working side by side here at this distillery. Family has always been extremely important to us here. We actually believe it's the best means of quality control. That's why today we still have 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th generation employees on both sides of those families still actively working side by side here today. The last numbers I was told, somewhere between 60 and 65% of our employees are generational employees. So we do like to keep it in the family around here.
Although I was able to film in most portions of the tour, there were a few places that no filming, no pictures of any kind were allowed. And that's because of the very secretive, proprietary information, recipes, and procedures that Jack Daniel's maintains. But I did get a pretty good look at these fancy bottles.
He's working hard.
It was built in 1938. The first thing Lem did when Tennessee lifted its laws on prohibition was Lem started to build this barrel house. As I said, 3-story barrel house. When we head back up, if you go in and go to the right, the bottle shop is over to the right. If you go in and go to the left side, there's a couple of counters over there to the left. There's an engraving counter.
It's interesting to note that this is one of the only distilleries in the United States that still carry on this age-old, nearly extinct process of distilling. This is where the etching takes place, and you can have one of those fancy bottles engraved with your name, or if you're looking for a really interesting gift for someone, they'll do anything you want. Well, I hope this was interesting, and I appreciate you joining me this week. I'll be back next week with more on the road.